Yes, I am aware that the camera is on quite a big lean, but my tripod is broken, so just deal with it. Welcome back to Pop Culture, the recap, a series where I break down past month's entertainment news. And first off, I have to be a broken record again, because yet again, James Bond has been delayed once more. It's reached the point where it would be quicker and easier if I just recorded myself saying that and just splice it into the start of every pop culture recap, because I don't ever think the film is going to be released at this point. Something that has been released, on the other hand, is the next Marvel Studios project, WandaVision. It's on the streaming platform. It's Disney Plus, and is the first piece of content in the MCU that we've had for like over a year, and I personally really enjoy it. Basically, it takes the character of Scarlet Witch and has her create her own kind of sitcom-related universe it slowly reveals more and more hints as to what's actually happening. But apparently, people over on the Twitters, on the Reddits, are too dumb to understand what a sitcom is, because people are complaining that the show is too boring and doesn't have enough action. And yeah, the show is purposely aimed at older people who grew up with the sitcoms throughout the different eras they're trying to parody. So like the Brady Bunch people, the Bewitched people, such as that. It'll intentionally fly over over all of the heads of people younger than me. But I'm an educated TV watcher, so I know what they're trying to reference. But even still, there are people still complaining that it's too out there, and that there isn't enough action in this in a superhero TV show. And to that, I would counter with, you complain that every other film that comes out is too stock standard and just full of action. So what do you actually want? But anyway, it's just people on Reddit. So when have they actually done anything intelligent? Oh. Despite my previous statement, Reddit isn't actually that bad. It's shown by the fact that they managed to almost single-handedly crash US stock market. Does this count as entertainment news? I'm going to say it does, because I want to talk about it. Because it's hilarious. So, basically, a subreddit entitled WallStreetBets, they came up with a plan on if they purchase a whole heap of stocks for the shop GameStop, then a whole chain of convoluted economics happens, and heaps of like the rich people in the States lose all their income, which sounds hilarious. So basically, everyone banded together to buy heaps and heaps of GameStop stock, and yep, the plan worked. There are rich people complaining that they are going to lose heaps and heaps of cash, and that's And that's actually it's actually quite a good thing, because it shows it shows that the average Joe Blogs can actually profit off the stock market. But not until the stock market then bans you from doing so. I think it's the most popular stock trading app called Robinhood last week, or this week, announced that they were going to ban people from buying particular stock of GameStop, which for no other reason than rich people are losing money. Like, there isn't anything illegal going on except for banning people from buying stocks because you want them to lose. Basically, the stock market is actually rigged, which doesn't surprise anyone, to be honest. But they pulled an extremely illegal move, so hopefully someone takes them to court for it, or the app should just be instantly shut down. So, since it's been quite a while since my last video, two other things have been happening. The first of which was that the game Cyberpunk 2077 came out, published by developer Project Red, their last project being The Witcher 3, which is a game that I got like 2 hours into and then quit because I couldn't stand the gameplay. Yes, don't shoot me. But I was quite hyped for this game because, yeah, it looked fun. I'm a sci-fi open world game. That sounds fun, and everyone else thought so too. To the point that they were sending death threats to the producers of the game if they didn't release it now. So that released in the game. So that resulted in the game finally being released after being delayed a few times. And when it came out, everyone complained that it wasn't finished and that it was full of bugs. Well, yeah, perhaps that is what happens when you threaten to kill the developers if they don't release the game on time. Duh. But even still, I don't care about bugs in games. If they don't break the game, if they don't make the game unable to be played, I don't care. It's kind of the charm of the game. One of my favorite games is actually Fallout 4, and that game is like notorious for having heaps and heaps of bugs, because it's a Bethesda game, and also because it's an open world game. Open world games are extremely hard to make, especially one that's extremely demanding, such as Cyberpunk. But there's all. Apparently the console release is like pretty unplayable, which, okay, fair, but I'm pretty sure they've fixed it by now. But people tried to take them to court over it, which is a bit rude if you ask me. It's pretty much like spat in the face of all the people who worked like 8 years to make the game. And yeah, perhaps it isn't a perfect release date, but luckily we're in the modern day and age where you're able to release patches to a game to make it playable, which they have. The same thing also happened with their previous game, The Witcher 3. That was also notoriously buggy and glitched on release, but now it's actually regarded as like one of the best games of all time. So yeah, just be patient, people. In terms of the game itself, though, it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty much what I was expecting. Like, it isn't like the greatest game in the world, but it's fun. Like I have like a few problems with the game. I hate that there wasn't a third a third person camera for a game that pushes customization of your character, but now you're only able to actually see your character in a mirror, which kind of seems a bit pointless. Although after its release and still now there are particular games journalist sites that are just constantly trashing on the game for no other reason than, oh, it has glitches, it apparently sucks. Like, no, it honestly isn't that bad if you if you look at it in the state it's in now. Like there are like all these articles going like titles like, here are like 20 reasons why The Witcher is greater than this other game. It's, wow, nobody cares. If you're the type of person to just endlessly critique every single game that comes out, just don't play every game that comes out. Just play the games that you enjoy, like I do. I don't play like every AAA game. I don't play every AAA game that comes out this year. I have to wait like 2 years to play a game. Like Star Wars Fallen Order. I just finished that last week. It came out 1.5 years ago. Anyway, that issue is also just salty people complaining. So onto the next issue of salty people being hyped over something else. There's been news about a film that was released 3 or 4 years ago, Justice League. Apparently, it has been recut with a new director to be released on HBO Max, a new streaming service, because we apparently need any more of those. But Justice League, for anyone who's seen the film, isn't terribly great. It's passable, but it's passable at best. But which understandably made like fans of the comics a bit upset. But now it's apparently being recut with the previous director of the DC films, Zack Snyder, and everyone's praising him and going, oh yeah, the film will be much greater. But am I missing something? Because Zack Snyder was the person who also gave us Man of Steel, a Batman versus Superman, and also Suicide Squad to a point. Are those 3 of which people don't particularly like? But now you think that he'll make a very good film now, for some reason. But like, what do you expect? Like, he isn't remaking the film. It's just a director's cut. Do you know what a director's cut of a film is? It's just a different edit of the film. It's like if I released this video and then switched the segments around again and released it again, that would be a recut of the video. It's still the same parts, you've just edited it in different ways. Added a few scenes in, taken a few scenes out. So, it won't actually change the film that much. If the film sucked beforehand, it will still suck after the re-edit. So yeah, all I'm saying is that don't get your hopes up about the Justice League recut. Because if you do, the same thing will happen with every other DC film that's come out. People will be underwhelmed. That's a dead cockroach. Anyway, that's about all I'm for today. There hasn't been a whole heap of news. That's why I held off a month to do this, to do the video. But hopefully I'll get back into more releases now that's the new year. So yeah, I will see all of you in the next video. Farewell.